Everybody needs laughter. It's going to be hilarious.
Girl, you must be eating good because you got them goodies.
I like my men with some meat. You have to be like Arby's. You have to have meats. Men and masculinity.
You don't even spit like a dude. God damn.
What's up, y'all? This is Seriously Funny here. It's been Ashley. We back. First time 2025. How you doing?
Good. Happy Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday, right? It is Taco
I
Tuesday.
did. I made some tacos too.
What so these tacos now, what are your sides for these tacos? What are we putting on these tacos?
It's all about the seasoning, but I do onions, cilantro, and then a little bit of queso. And then I have this guac salsa that I get fire.
How do you say cilantro again? I like the way you
Don't do me like that. Cilantro.
Oh,
Cilantro.
look at that car. Come on, snatch. I like that. She got the little accent with it. So
You know.
hey, so check it out, y'all. We got like a few topics, man. As one you can see at the bottom, why not many men are home buyers is one of the topics, and we're gonna talk about male like leadership in households and needed or not. And then what is it, DoorDash?
Hmm.
Let's talk about this DoorDash thing, man. Like, so I wish I would have uh, hold on a second. Cause this DoorDash thing's got me bugging right now. Hold on, let me go live video. Cause I gotta get shout out to
You While
yeah.
you're doing that, let me ask you, because I know you can answer my question while you're doing that. Do you use DoorDash or do you use Instacart or Uber Eats?
I don't use DoorDash or Instacart. My wife, she uses this DoorDash. I don't use none of that stuff. I don't know about delivering my groceries, delivering my food or whatever it is. I want it myself. I want to just handle that myself. So no, I'm not a big user. But why are they putting like these? Okay, so I'm gonna read this to y'all. This is what the DoorDash people. This is what the world's coming to, and this might. You tell me this is gonna hurt the DoorDash business. Now let me go back because I had screenshot this little article.
My bad.
All right, DoorDash. DoorDash is offering installment payments through a partnership with Klarna. I think it is Klarna. Customers can split their orders into four interest-free payments or pay later, with the option to defer payment to a date that aligns with their paycheck. Tell me, what's the problem with them doing that? Like, seriously.
It's laziness at the end of the day. Like I used Instacart one time, and that's when I was in Dallas for a work trip. I
Right.
forgot my notebook. I needed some Celsius, and there was something else I needed. I had to do Instacart to get a notebook because I didn't have a car because it was a work trip. It was a quick thing. We had our shuttle bus and all that. So I just did Instacart, and I hate having to pay for that convenience fee. But for me, if you use it, I don't want to like sound mean, but like you're lazy.
You lazy as hell. And, well, not Instacart, because some people have a lot of children and the Instacart works out for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather just go to the grocery store and buy my groceries. I mean, like a trip to Target, you can't beat that.
So, and here's the thing with the groceries, half the time, the workers are not even paying attention to like bananas. So let's just say you get bananas or you get apples and they're already half rotten. It's like fruits don't last that long as it is. So why are you going to give me bananas that are already, starting to rot? Like give me some fresh green ones. That's why I like to pick up my produce.
They put an installment. So for people who using Instacart or whatever it is, DoorDash, Instacart, what I say it was, DoorDash.
Mhm.
DoorDash is that you make payments like installments. So that's what it is. But let's get on to the main event topic right now.
Before we do, really quick, shout out to the Door Dashers who are actually working this because I work with a few people at work who do this on the side as a hustle, and they make bank off of that.
They do.
Yes, because you get tips, and especially if you go into a rich neighborhood, sometimes those people are dropping
Break
that money.
break it, drop it like it's hard. Hey, so excuse me, online.
Well,
Hey,
okay.
hey, why? Not many man home buyers. And
Mm.
I'm gonna ask you for your opinion. We talked about it briefly. I want to get to go to details. Why are not many men they buy home buyers? Like, what do you think it is? I got some research I done. I got my personal opinion, but why do you think there are not many men buying homes?
So let's elaborate on that, right? So are we talking about men that are in relationships or are we talking about single men? Because I can answer for a single men aspect, maybe, but for men that are in a relationship, I really can't.
Well,
I
here's
can give you my opinion, but
all men in general. Why,
okay.
like, I mean, in general, like you got, like you. Okay, so here's the thing: you got the married couple that buy homes. Involves a man. But when it comes to like the couple that's not married, because first marriage rates are down than what they was back in the 70s and 80s. Like the marriage rates are completely down. Actually, I got some data to go with that. It says that 73% of home buyers in 1981 were married couples, 11% were single women, and 10% were single men. Today, the marriage rates in terms of people buying homes are down to 60%, 19% single women, 9% single men. So
Well,
why are men like not buying homes? I got my reasons, but I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna stir up the pot a little bit.
commitment issues. They don't want to make that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So it could be a financial issue. It could be honestly, it truly could be like a commitment issue because if you buy a house, whether it's just you by yourself or if you're buying a house with somebody you're dating or someone you're engaged to, not married yet, you're making that commitment into buying the house. So if something were to happen, you guys break up, you get a divorce, then how do you that's a long process to say who gets the house, right?
You're right. That's
So
right.
that's, my one exhibit A, I guess. And then it's the really it depends on where you're living because let's just say in Illinois, y'all's sales tax, property tax is way higher than it is here in the South. My dad, before he had passed, and when he was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, his house, his property tax, because he was retired and he was disabled, his property tax
Uh,
was like $450 a year.
Compared to like $11,000 in Illinois.
Exact. I tell everybody back home, it's college tuition. People look at me like I'm crazy.
That's why a lot of people boo. So this is my theory, right? A lot of males, I'm gonna just one thing that's gonna sound negative, but it's true in my opinion. Is the leadership among males is like dwindling down. Like I said before, like you got a lot of men who's supposed to lead households, but they can barely get themselves together. And I think the way that society is like pushing males out of this norm of like masculine and leadership, they kind of push them to like to be secondary, pushing women to be these leaders, but it's not really meant for them to be leaders at all. But that's why feminism is another reason to me. With women are owning more homes because I believe that in the United States that feminism is being pushed like woman, I don't need no man. I can do what I want to do. So they're more interested in being successful and just making money and purchasing a home, but not realizing the importance of a man inside a residence. But there's not many men to put inside a residence. So yeah, I don't know, man. Most men are going overseas. Not just for the women, but they're going overseas, and a lot of families are going overseas too. Though, like it's just cheaper in like China, Thailand, like Japan, Costa Rica. We talked about earlier, Panama. Like it's countries where you can live luxury lifestyles. Like for example, here I told you earlier, I read a family, a married couple. It's a married couple, not a family. It's two stories. A married couple. They moved to China. They got a 6 bedroom, 3 bathroom condo in this luxury building, and they everything is furnished. Man, the whole home is awesome. 6 bedroom, 3 bathrooms. Their monthly bills, well, their mortgage or whatever, not a mortgage, it's rent. It's $1,200. $1,200 is all they paying to live in this household for a 6 bedroom, 3 bathroom, and it's just the husband and wife. So think about a family moving there, living off of $1,200 a month. In China, it's by far cheaper. So some men, a lot of men make these excursions. They just navigate and they going elsewhere to rent and just live their lives instead of the American way. It's not really the American way anymore.
It's crazy. And, and then like we said, backstage before we went live, everyone says, well, all these other countries are dangerous. You're right, but America is dangerous too.
Yeah, we got
So what's the difference? Like, really, what's the difference? Because you're still going to get hated on, no matter what your skin color is, no matter what your race is, right? Especially here in America, if you come here documented or undocumented, you're hated on, right?
yeah.
So why not live the life in another country? I mean, if I could go, I mean, I can go, right? Obviously, I have to get my passport first, but if I can go, I would definitely go.
Let me tell you something. We gonna work when you get your passport. We gonna go. This gonna be a process. Each show is gonna be a check-in. You have to get your passport because to experience things in other countries is very valuable.
Mm.
Like, what if you on a life grind trip and we accidentally drive into Tijuana? How are you gonna get back? You're gonna be a permanent Mexican resident.
All I gotta do is just show the chichis a little bit. I'd be like, Senor, lo siento.
No, no, you got the seniors at the border when you coming back. You got the U.S. Border Patrol, and I don't think the
Mm,
cha-chas, TTs will work at the border
mm,
coming back
you
over to
never
America.
know. Bat my eyes a little bit.
Get your passport so you can experience these things, so you can leave this country, or at least have the option to leave this country.
Oh no, for sure. It's definitely on my bucket list, especially for this year because I do want to travel.
You got to travel see these things. So, man, I'm gonna read a couple of reasons why they're less man home buyers instead of giving my own opinion.
I'm gonna
Uh,
add that to yours, but go ahead.
it says single women are likely to own homes than single men, but the gap is narrow, and several factors contribute to this. Women longer life expectancy, and I don't really greater education levels, and I don't really agree with that's why men are buying less homes by numbers the way it looks. I just think that men are looking to live off of women. Honestly,
Mm,
and I'm a man, and I hate to see this, is what I'm experiencing. Men these days are expecting to move in a woman's house while she pay the bills, and they sit around and just do nothing, play PlayStation and do less.
mm,
And women are becoming the breadwinners. So men these days, and what the society and the younger generation is looking at, like, hey, I don't have to sit and pay bills no more. I get a woman doing. I can sit around and watch her work hard, which that's the man's role. But you see how the roles changing, and that's happening in this country on how feminism is like pushing women to be these leaders, and women don't want. Some women don't want this. They want that smoke. They want the traditional way that God written, not this devilish way that this country is pushing. Because man, I think should be taking care of things. Women should be relaxing. I think they should. Honestly, they should.
okay,
Women should be spoiled.
you're right. I mean, I want to say to a certain extent, but I definitely do agree with you. I do agree with you.
Just to a certain extent. Because women should be spoiled. Women should be spoiled, and women should know how to handle being spoiled. But women should be spoiled.
That's the hard part. Handle being spoiled. That is the hardest thing for me to like swallow and accept because I'm the oldest sibling of five brothers. So I've always been the caretaker, the doer, the provider, and other things, right? So it's like I don't know how to accept that help nor ask for the help. So I'm a work in progress. Work in progress, I
You need to
promise.
you need to work on that because a man that knows his role as real leader will not be attracted by a woman who doesn't accept his leadership. So
True.
like I know that you said you know he's a provider or whatever growing up, but a man who's a leader loves a woman who can accept his role as being a leader as written like by God. So like a man that comes around, he caters to you, get flowers. You don't have to do too much of nothing. That should be praised in my eyes because that's a traditional man. But women these days seem to like men that do not praise them, do not make them feel welcome, and actually they want the man to become reliant upon them. So if the woman feel like the man needs them, they have that. That's the way it's going right now. But then that role can be tiresome because a woman just gonna just Like, damn, I need me a man. You know,
Mhm.
not a person around here. Just it's crazy. Male
Mhm.
leadership is needed. So not many male home buyers because, like I said before, there's a lack of leadership beyond males, and some not all males, but there's lack of leadership where they're like moved to be home buyers. But I think a lot of men are just like going overseas. I mean, especially single ones, you ain't got no kids, you can actually explore the world. You know, they some seem to say it's better women outside the United States. So they go to like to China, they go to like Colombia's a different trip. I can't say Colombia, but like Costa Rica, like men are actually some are looking for legit relationships outside this country because this country has
Mhm.
tarnished family and the roles of men and women. This country has tarnished it. So that's why there are less men home buyers because this country has told women, hey, you don't need a man. They pushed all this feminism. So women are the big home buyers. They got this salary. I'm making this. I don't need no man do nothing. But after a while, a woman gets tired
Mhm.
because now you own a home, you're changing light bulbs, and you can do this, you can do that. Like, well, some women are so proud, but women, one thing, I'm gonna tell you this too, Ashley.
Mm.
Don't settle for a man that's gonna sit
Mm.
around and not help you be better as a woman. Let him go buy his own home.
But and that has to go vice versa as well because men don't settle for a woman who's not going to pour into you to be a better person,
But
right?
leaders should pick that up and drop that easily. That's one with male leadership because men, we stern. Really, is we're pretty stern. We're very respectful. We cater, but we're stern where we're not gonna deal with bullshit. Some men
Right.
will drop it, and because a lot of people play games, some men be like, "All right, I'm cutting it loose."
Mhm.
Man, a lot of successful men out here, but you just won't find them because your new generation guys, you bring up little baby boys, they look to live off women. I ain't got to buy a home. I'm gonna live off her. I'm moving her crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work this little job. I see it all too often. Like a lot of women home buyers. You go in these single women homes, um, and you'll see like a lot of men just living off them. Like they just looking to move in.
Mhm.
It's
I
crazy.
see it. I mean, I see it when they come into my job too, and I'm like, "You're with that? What do you do for work?" Right? Just make it small talk. You got that? You got what?
But they just want to have a man in the house. And men are just they accept those roles. That's why the dating things is like. Well, I'm gonna read this thing to you right quick. Hold on. I posted this thing, and you saw it on our TikTok page. So this woman, let me turn the volume down so people won't hear it. If you can't go to our Life Grind 3 TikTok page, you can read this comment. We were talking about women, find your real leader, don't settle for a fake leader,
Mhm.
and man, vice versa. So this woman, she said, I've been waiting for a man to take lead and no luck. She said she's been in a relationship for 26 years and he never led. Now divorced and the man I thought would lead is just leading to disappointment. She said, I think it's just a single life for me. And here's the thing. If you don't see a man that's going to be bringing the leadership and going to provide all the it's not all about like money and everything. It's about the little stuff. He's not providing all that. You have to move on. Like there's no ifs,
Mhm.
ands, and buts about it. Donna, what's up? I see Donna in the building.
Donna.
You gotta like just not settle, and that's why these women is buying homes. Think about a lot of single. I know a lot of single women that are homeowners, and most of my friends who are males, they're married with homes. I got a lot of female friends that are like home buyers or whether it's a condo, home, whatever. They're buyers,
Mhm.
but they're pretty successful women. It's just that these dudes are like ease their way in a minute, and they want to play the little feminine role, so they don't gotta buy a home. You gonna see race change as time go on, where there's a lot of men. It's gonna be less men home buyers, and not for the negative reasons, because a lot of men they're exploring out here. They just
Mhm.
not here in the United States. They might buy elsewhere. That's what we gotta look. We gotta look at other countries and see what the rates are like men buying homes in like countries like China and Japan and so forth.
I would definitely love to look into that, and I'm gonna touch up on that in just a second because I want to go back to the reasons. Another reason I was thinking of why men are not buying homes too. If you think about it, if you're renting, like I'm renting my place, right? If
Mhm.
something were to go wrong, if my hot water heater goes out, if my furnace goes out, the landlord pays for that. I don't pay for that. They pay for that. You buy a home, that's a 10, $15,000 repair.
True, less maintenance.
So, right. So there's pros and cons, right, to renting and owning. However, some people are just like, I don't have the money for those repairs. So I'm just going to continue to rent right now. And they're also what we call is they're in their comfort zone. They don't want to step out of the comfort zone because they're comfortable with all the unknowns that could happen while they're renting because they know they're not going to be held responsible for that because the landlord will cover that.
I had a question. So, you ever meet a guy that presents himself like he makes like all this money, like 300, 400, 500,000, like he has this nice car and everything, but then still stay with his parents? Like, do you think that a
Mm.
lot of men are doing things for show and they can
Oh,
afford homes? They're living above their means.
100%. I feel like so, and that's what I don't like about men. If you're gonna sit here and you're gonna show up and you got like all this jewelry on and you got a nice car, but you don't have a home to show for it, like, first of all, money doesn't buy happiness. Money does not buy my happiness. Your quality time, your investment in me, your pouring into me, vice versa, you being a leader, you being a provider, that's what will get me. Your money does not impress me.
Okay, so let me ask you something. This is money to impress you. What is your requirement for a man to make yearly? Is it a thing when you meet somebody?
No, well, if you're working at McDonald's, the answer would be no.
Oh, okay. Now let's get the pot started. Now, why is a McDonald's? So let me tell you something. If a
Well,
man
we already
if
have
a
this
man meets
conversation.
a okay, we had this conversation. We finna revisit. If a man meets a McDonald's employee, a woman that's a McDonald's employee, and she's very
Mm,
traditional, very ladylike, very this, a man ain't gonna look at how much she make though. It's all about what she provides, like
mhm,
not including the dollar sign. It's all about what she
mhm,
provides, the emotions, the
mhm,
it's like,
mhm.
but you can't do a man. The perfect guy can be at McDonald's working his way up and the corporate ladder, and like the corporate ladder, or maybe doing something else. But you can't give him a chance because working at McDonald's could be this great guy, but you're not
I
gonna give him
mean,
because he work at McDonald's.
I mean, I could possibly do it right. I can't. So I really can't judge a book by by its cover, right? Would I engage in conversation, see where it goes? Here's the thing: if you can hold a conversation, if you're intelligent, and we can have it, not basic conversations like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food, like pick my brain because the minute you pick my brain, I'm gonna pick your brain, right?
Mhm.
And if you can have that intelligent conversation, we can see where it goes. But if you're like basic, like your basic bottom line, like flipping burgers, you have
You
doesn't
see,
go up to the
that,
penthouse, like
those men that work their hard and work their way up, because you got to start somewhere.
you
And I think
do.
that women overlook these men, and they judge them, and that's why a lot of men go overseas to find other women. I know I'm getting off
Mhm.
topic here, but this is why they go find the women because these men are judged. And I know some people's watching. Y'all got a criteria about how much a man should make yearly. Oh, like you hear it all the time. Man gotta make six figures. Man gotta make 125,000. How about a man has to be a man of God?
That absolutely be a man of God, right? But here's the thing. I can't say I necessarily care how much you make, right? As long as you have your stuff put together, you could pay your bills. You have a place to stay. You could afford your groceries. You could afford your lifestyle to whatever that may look like for you. As long as you could afford that, I'm happy for you. And if you have children, as long as you are providing for your children, I'm happy for you. If you're not providing for your children, I'm out.
I like this comment, Ricky. Men don't care if women work at McDonald's. Men don't judge women. We take all flaws. That's very true. We take all flaws. We don't judge. We take all flaws. We try to be understanding and everything. Look. You hey Ricky didn't shut you up. He take all
Nights
flaws.
with Ricky. Okay.
But that's true. Man, so men we don't judge, and those the type of men and the single here in America that own homes. We are natural leaders. Some actually exhibit a show characteristic of being the natural leaders that God made. So these men that own homes here or wherever they go here, they go overseas, wherever they go, they can run a household until they find the right woman to conform the household. Now, vice versa, a woman home owner, they need a man. They can say you don't need a man all you want. You can have the random guy to come and do your repairs, whatever. If you're a homeowner, it's nice to have a man to go change your air filter, just run through the house, getting up there changing light bulbs and whatever. It's just nice to have that. It is just nice to have that. And I say a man, not the dude to sit on the couch while you change light bulbs. Women, let me tell you something. If you got a man in your house and you standing up on ladders changing light bulbs while he's sitting on the couch and you paying all the bills, he's doing nothing. You better leave that. You better start reading the Bible and what a man should be because it's getting outrageous.
Hmm.
It's getting outrageous out here now. And then he got the nerve to be disrespectful to you, talking nuts to you, not catering to you. Man,
Mm,
don't get me started.
mm,
You
mm. Go ahead, preach. Go
know.
ahead, go ahead, preach, Reverend Hendo.
When you have the traditional family, the family that's like doing everything under the guidance, there's strong household and there's actually strong male leadership in the household, which we talked about too, the importance of male leadership in the household because the male, so woman and man, they work neck to neck. And the man is the
Hmm.
leadership, he's protecting everything. So it's like this. In some ways, it might be like this, and the woman need to bring him back up because that's what a strong woman does. But a male has that role in the house where he shows that presence and their children in the house, their children in the house, they understand just by observation the male role and a woman role in the household. Now, if you have like broken homes where men are like domestically like assaulting a woman, whatever, that's why some kids grow up messed up because they grew up seeing that as a norm. When you have a strong traditional household and a healthy man leadership, that's very, very important. And it's not as like often you see it in homes in general, especially here in our country, because we just don't. Some people grow up in a single woman household and they think, the woman, especially women that grow up in that, no offense taken, this is gonna be the blunt truth. My mom was single, she did this, so I'm gonna do this, I don't need no man. Yes, you do. And man, we can survive without women, but it's good to have a woman to a certain point because a woman do things that, man, like I'm having my wife in the house, me washing clothes. Whew, man, it's nice to have one washing clothes and it's cooking something to eat and having some hot food. And some things I just don't gotta do. I give her nights off, but it's good to have that helping hand and everything. So those are strong things in the household. But for the single men out there, why they gotta buy a home? They can go out there, go to Thailand, go to China. They can have these great nights out. They can live a very cheap lifestyle because
Hmm.
the American dollar stretches far in these countries. So why would they stay here and give our government back the money when you go to other countries, enjoy a lifestyle? And honestly, don't take offense. For the most part, not every woman, but you can enjoy. You can probably enjoy more. You can get a more traditional woman outside this country. I know I'm gonna hear it, and there are traditional women here. Don't get me wrong, but I think that America has tarnished women perspective on their roles. So a lot of men just go outside the country and try to find that same thing that was offered back in the older days, 60s, 70s, 80s, stuff you saw growing up. So yeah, men,
Mm.
they got a little flex. I'm sorry to say that. They got a little flex.
I mean, I guess I just gotta look overseas for, dear future husband, wherever he may be.
Yeah, because one y'all little dating pool over here is got poo poo in it. You got poo poo in your dating pool. Hey Amy, what's up? Amy, what's going on? Amy Tuning in live from
Amy. She's
Cali.
South Cali, right?
Yeah, she right not so far from my favorite city, San Diego. Love San Diego. Amy, I'll be back in San Diego soon. I introduced you to the wife then. Um, back
Mm.
to the poo poo dating pool for women. 'Cause
So
that
like what you keep talking about like these international, like moving international and whatnot. So backstage we were talking about I had a customer who was in the military looking to retire, working on getting all his disability papers. He said once he gets approved for his disability, he wants to go and buy property in Costa Rica. And I said, well, why Costa Rica? Because you got the wheels turning. And he said, if he goes out there, and I hope I'm saying this right, in Costa Rica, if you buy like $150,000 worth of land down there, or a property, you automatically get all of the perks of being a part-time citizen out there.
I know that if you go there, you could actually get a dual citizenship if you like do like a work from home type thing. You can go live
Mhm.
there and get your dual citizenship, and just work from home in Costa Rica. Think about that, working from home on a beach, like you're single.
Right. But the military, I'm saying for the military men and women, if you get 70% to 100% of disability and you leave this country, you don't have to do shit. Your disability check is going to look like you're a millionaire in another country. Think about that.
Well, that's not even just this. People who retire and collect pensions and go move to these places. Like, let's say, like I told you about the married couple. I'll give you another example. Another guy. I don't know what his house was like. I want to say 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and his rent is $600 or $700, and it's like penthouse type thing. Think about if you got a pension, you collecting every month of like 4 grand,
Mm.
not taxed. You collecting $4,000 a month, or let's say three. Do you know how you can live off that money in these other countries? Your rent is like five, six, $700. Let's say $1,000. Let's go up there for 1,000. You don't need transportation, like you don't have to have a car. So you got $2,000. What other bill do you have to pay besides a phone bill? You don't have to charge credit cards at the game. That's the thing. When you set yourself up for retirement, you can pay off a lot of bills and just worry about rent, a phone bill, and food. That's it. So like actually buying a home here can be more to a disadvantage than advantage. Like know what I know now at this age. Let's say I can rewind back to before I had children. I would own property. I would own property, but I would definitely be visiting the world. I would definitely like a friend of mine. He actually was law enforcement. He quit a long time ago. He made his money. He went to go live in the DR for some years.
Mm.
He's a principal now in Colombia.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Speaks Spanish, everything. He just got away from here, and he's been living his life for about, man, I want to say over 10 years. Lived in DR, he didn't like the DR, and definitely Colombia. Like I just people are just living a much cheaper, less stressed lifestyle outside of here. Because think about here, you got to pay property taxes. You got
Hmm.
to pay state taxes. Then you got to
Hmm.
pay federal taxes. The money you make, our government eats it up.
County taxes.
It's crazy. Sales tax. Think about everybody that's watching the show. Look at your paycheck. Look at the amount of taxes taken out each year. Look at the sales tax you pay. You pay when you go to the grocery store. Because in Chicago, you got to pay what 10 cents for a grocery bag or something like that. 20 cents.
That's crazy to me, by the way, because
Yeah,
we don't have that down here in the South, but that's crazy. Except for at Aldi, but other than that,
all these pretty
that's
like
crazy.
international with the bed chart, but Chicago, like it actually how many bags you have, like you're taking out. I'm like, are we serious? So think about
Hmm.
how we get pimped for every penny we got, especially when you go to the low income communities, and how that's what all the local grocery stores are charging like 10, 20 cents to get a bag to take home. So a lot of people, I know some personally, one family from Inglewood, they went to God, they went to Mexico. Went to Mexico. I forgot what country. Well, I want to say it was what's the little common place people go to in Mexico? Uh
Cozumel,
not Cos
Puerto Vallarta,
no.
um,
The other one, Cancun.
Thank you.
So
Yep.
it's a I want to say Plata Carmen. It's like a community they moved to and
Hmm.
moved a family. So it's a community with like a lot of international people who moved to Mexico, and they all speak English. And the adjustment, because she's from Inglewood, moving there, better quality of life. She says very, very like better. She want to move back here. And this is crazy. A lot of people here like, ooh, that's dangerous. Well, guess what? The dangerous here too is people dying every day in the United States. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. It's just a containment thing. But when you talk to these people who made this transition, it's a lot more safer. So that's why you don't have a lot of guys make the transition. Not many home buyers here in America unless
Hmm.
males. They don't. If they single and they got no kids, what's the purpose of really buying a home here? Maybe buy a condo home. But I'm gonna be back and forth. Like I tell you, I'm not single, but if I was a single man with no children, I would definitely have a condo here and I'll be back and forth.
Hmm. Rent it out as an Airbnb when you're not here.
Exactly. Living life good. Living life
Hmm.
good. So, but women, feel bad for y'all. Because
Shut up.
these men are not home buyers. They're looking to go to your home and live where you pay
Mm-mm.
bills. Hey, women,
Mm-mm.
beware of the Jody, the baby boys. They coming to a
Baby.
home near you. Ash, I know you gonna have your little Jody.
Hell no.
But
You got me fucked
I
up.
love him.
No. You got me all the way fucked up,
But
Jay.
I love him. That's what the women be
Mm-mm.
saying. These little tired,
Mm-mm.
little ashy dudes. But I love him. You
No,
let
baby.
bills
Uh-uh.
bring you stress, bring your
Mm.
stress levels up, bring your blood pressure up. But let me say one thing that as you learn and we get higher in faith, a lot of women go learn, if they haven't already, that I'm not selling for a dude that's not going to bring what God told him to bring to the table.
Look, if you're not a godly man, peace out.
But a godly man, let me say, in the household was powerful. A male presence in the household is what we talked about too, right? So a male presence in the household, a man that leads his household by prayer, he kind of like leads the way. Let's pray, y'all. And a woman kind of like takes that she's got the secondary leadership, she pushes it. Um,
Hmm.
and in his household, the male presence is stronger that way, and he leads, and it's that leadership down on God, man, woman, on down to her children. That's
Hmm.
a strong thing by it. But the thing is, you don't have many leaders in America that are males. And that's why I think that a lot of these little home buyers, I don't even want to say that. I wanted to say the lack of leadership is the reason for the lack of like male role models in the household.
It could be that, or it could be, and I hate to say this, like their past experience with women has like shut down their self-worth or their ego to be like the best version of themselves. And when I went to church on Sunday, the pastor said, "Your future doesn't your past doesn't predict your future," right? And I
Right.
think that's so important that we all have gone through stuff. We all have a story, right? So
Hmm.
you have to remind yourself on a daily basis, my past does not predict my future. Yes, I've had fucked up relationships. I'm not going to let that come forward. That's not, my past is not going to predict who I am for the future. And a God-fearing man in the household is more beneficial than, amen to that. Amen to that. So,
That's
and I was going to say, with that, to me as a woman, as a woman of faith, there's nothing more beautiful than a man. If I'm stressed out, and if, again, dear future husband, wherever you may be, if this is you, like, just listen up, right? There's nothing better if they like check in with you, hey, how's your day going? And I'm like, man, I am so stressed out with work. There's nothing sexier than a man sitting here, let me pray for you. And literally just writing out like, dear God, you know what I'm
women
saying?
don't
Like,
women don't want that. Women don't want that. They want the
I
they want the they
hold
want
on,
that. They don't
hold
want.
on, hold
I'm
on.
gonna go back to Ricky. When Ricky just like said it best, a God-fearing man in the household is more beneficial than just a male in the household. But that's very true. But a lot of women say they want it, but when they get it, they don't know what to do with it. So they pass on men with leadership, and then they get the little scrubby dudes to come in there because you know what? A lot of women get attracted to the dollar sign. They're attracted
Mm-mm.
to money. They don't want to grow with a man. They want a man already established. So back in the day, or not back in the day, in some relationships, men and women they grow together, but it's less relationships like that, right? Women want men that's already established or act. I had before back in the date phase, I had a woman ask my credit score.
Mm.
Why is my credit score important? Why about? See, that's the thing. It's all about
The money.
financials and money. Money. What about my relationship with God? How is your relationship with God? No, what's your credit score? How much you make? You just said yourself though. You can't do it nobody from McDonald's. Your God fearing man can be at the register taking orders and can be the strongest leader it is, but just because he's at McDonald's, you won't even entertain him.
I don't eat fast food like that anyways, first and
It
foremost.
doesn't
So
it doesn't matter. You have went to McDonald's on a late night before when everything else was closed. You never know when you'll go to McDonald's restaurant. You may have nephews and nieces that want to go get some food from McDonald's. You're gonna go in a McDonald's restaurant.
mm,
And like Ricky said earlier, men don't care if women work at McDonald's. We don't judge women. We take all the flaws and we grow together. And a woman, despite I ain't gonna need to say flaws, she has her strong points. You don't we man, we're not gonna sit behind the register and be like, man, she work at McDonald's. We gonna see those strong characteristics she has as a woman, taking care of household, she cooking, she cleaning, she's being respectful to her man, doing all these things. We cherish that. We bring them up with us. We grow together. We do it all with God. He's a sinner. We do it all, and the man is right there. He brings that woman up with. We do it all with God, baby. So we don't judge the woman at the register. We take them with, and she might become a stay at home mom. Who knows? Or
oh,
she might be important in this business they've been together. This LLC they put up together, this property we buy overseas. You see how men, the leadership, how magical it is. But you know what? A lot of good men get overlooked because women believe they're not on a certain level to entertain them.
like I'm not about the dollar signs. I'm not. See, I'm not the see. The men also pay attention to some of the men that the women choose. A lot of the men choose the women with the fake eyelashes, their nails that are like, Cardi B nails, right? My nails are not done. Okay. I don't wear the fake eyelashes. The only thing I do to my hair, if I do dye it, don't judge my grays, but I dye my hair, I go get it cut, right?
The men you're talking about, are they men of God?
Shoot, I don't know. I
Are they
don't.
are they
I mean,
are they
I'm
men
gonna
of
start
God?
going to
Because
the streets and asking.
a lot of men that truly and faithfully ride with the Most High are less likely to get all the Cardi B's and long nails and they fake butts and stuff because nobody wants that attention. We real like low key, just don't. We like it, but we don't like for the people to show it and be all about this. Like because man, we really don't want women that all about the dollar sign. They're not really genuine.
Hmm.
Not really genuine.
Hmm.
So when you get your real woman, guess what? You become motivated to have a family, household. Let me ask you this question:
Hmm.
how many men you know say that, yeah, I want a family, I want to settle down, I want to buy a home, etc., I want to get married? How often you hear a man say that?
Mm.
Now, how often you hear a woman say that?
All the time.
They want to settle down and get married. So when you have an imbalance of a lot of women who want to commit and settle down, and men who's not even thinking of settle down, they want to go do their thing and they're just not leaders. But you do have a lot of women. How many women you know that are with men and they settle that don't
Mm.
properly lead them through God or nothing and make their life a living hell? But the women stay because I love him. That's not love, though.
Hmm.
That's not love. That's lack of faith. Because there's something else better for you. So people believe because I've been single so long, I gotta have this. You don't gotta have it. you have them when God tell you to have it. Don't try to create things in your own time. Do it on God's time, because when you're doing your own time, you mess up and you put yourself back in some financial restraints that you can't get out of because a man has drained you. But God told you don't stick with him, don't do this with him. But you say, nah, I'm gonna stick with him, and he constantly drain you and drain you and drain you until you get into this mental like lapse and you want to go nuts. But at the same time, you are your own person to blame because God didn't lead you that way. You got the warnings. He gave you the
Mhm.
signals. You know how the airplane come in and they weigh the planes in. You know, some
Uh-huh.
women they just go
Uh-huh.
the way. They've been way this way. They just go the way. This God tell them, come on, come on, come on. But women like, no, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna try this.
Mhm.
And then guess what? Your
Mhm.
life is gonna be a disaster because you're going off the route that he told you to go. Boy, I feel like a pastor. But it is true.
Mhm.
So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I also see it roles reversed as well, where men continue to settle with women who ain't shit.
how many of those
Why?
men are like the thing is they sell women they're trash, and I've done it before. But how many of those men actually by faith? Because the same thing for women. Like I tell you, God tells a woman, beware and give signals. And to have faith, you fall in and you notice these signals. But for men who's actively leading under the guidance, ain't too many men out there like settling for trash who's actively leading because they like, man, forget that. Some men are they're nice guys. They're very nice guys. You men are nice guys. They're very successful. They're home buyers. But I know people personally that have settled for trash, in which I told them personally, that's trash. I just know it's
Mhm.
trash.
Mhm.
Like I say, you gotta see for yourself. So then those are the same people that get married twice and be like, man, don't get married, get a prenup. Brother, you can't tell me to get a prenup or even guide me when you don't have God hasn't guided you in neither your marriages, and you marry women that they want to be led. So like where's your expectations? Like where are you going with this? And as a result, just like the women coming in on that plane thing, hey, land here. The man came in, landed like, no, bro, I'm gonna go land. I'm gonna go this way, right? Go this way. Say they take their life and it's into disaster. They pay alimony and all this other stuff because they just knew. But hey, I'm gonna go through this. So then when they take the wrong route and they crash, they got to pay all these little dividends and whatever. They tell other people coming up, don't do it, don't do it, and it just take work. It takes work.
Mhm.
That's it. It take work. So then, if everybody traditionally like put in work, most of your home buyers, that rate will go up. What I tell you, 6% people married buying homes now. It's getting less than that, and it's 9% like single men buying homes. That's down. Like, hey, if everything has a like domino effect, if you improve, if it's less feminism in this world, more male leadership, you have a strong urgings of married people wanting to buy homes, and even single men wanting to buy homes to prepare for that woman, whatever. But the dating pool is so trashy, like I said, got doodle in it, that people like, hey, I buy a home here. I'm gonna explore the world and maybe find me a traditional woman. Maybe I might get stuck in Thailand or whatever. Get them other women that like cater their needs or whatever. It just times are just different, and it's just not about how much a woman make or man, and stuff like that. And women live longer than most home buyers, or houses are given to women because somebody died or they're a widow, they get the home. It's not even about that. It's you see it. I wish I had these videos. Wait, speaking of which,
Oh,
remember the
you
video?
do have one.
I do have a video. So I sent Ash this video. I'm gonna try to send it to my hold on a sec. I'm gonna try to send it to
Yourself.
yeah, try to send it to myself. It's this what's the thing? Pop the balloon? That's the name of the show?
Yeah. It's Pop the Balloon where it's either a line of men or a line of women. And, a lot of women, and this is the crazy thing, like a lot of women and men do this too. They immediately pop the balloon just based on what they're wearing.
Judgmental.
Ye Right, right, and so, like, I've seen it where, like, I don't like your outfit, you're too clean, I need a little man who looks a little more street worthy," and I was like, "What? Like, you don't want a man who looks crisp? What?"
Yeah, that's crazy. Let me let me pull this up. Uh, let me see how this works first. I'm just hold on a second, y'all. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up this video. This is gonna it's gonna prove my point to like women who hold on. I don't know how to press pause, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is share this screen and I'm gonna start it from you see it?
Hmm.
All right, let me go through and play this, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. If I can all right.
If you guys have back pain or foot pain from those heels, I can help you out. I'm a real estate investor. I also love God. Jesus changed my life. He set me
Amen.
free. He's why I am this way. I'm super happy. And I'm just looking for a woman to build a kingdom with and generational wealth with.
Okay, we love that. So now, what are some things you like to do for fun?
I love to exercise. I love to travel. I love to learn as well.
Okay, okay. And what are you looking for in a woman?
I'm looking for a woman who loves God and just who does have a nice career and also who is very nice on the inside as well.
All right. What are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers, if she doesn't believe in God, if she just is inside of her home, and if she's not nice on the inside. So.
All right, we like that. So we did get some pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
I'm Brittany. I am 28.
Okay. And Brittany, why did you end up popping your balloon?
I popped my balloon just off of first glance. I wasn't a fan of the full outfit. It's very nice, but it just wasn't what I was looking for.
Okay.
I'm Janine. I'm 28.
All right. Janine, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Honestly, I think you're dressed very nice. I love everything that you said. It was just off of initial attraction. It just kind of felt like we wouldn't match personalities. I feel like you're very well spoken, and that's really, really good. I'm just looking for someone with a little bit, a little gangster lean in them.
Gangsta, hey.
Just a little bit, not too much, but yeah. Thank you.
Deanna, and I'm 29.
Right. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
The initial attraction, I would say again, the haircut. Like specific with that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, it would be the haircut for me. He has everything, it sounds like, together. So yeah.
Okay. So what kind of haircut do you like? Like
Low. I just need it low and all
fade.
around. Yeah, man.
Okay.
I'm Ashley and I am 26.
Ashley, why did you end up popping your balloon?
I just see us being like really good friends. Like that's all. Like you're very handsome. I love the way you talk. Like you have really good energy. Like that's why I feel like we should be like best friends. That's why. That's the only thing.
Okay.
You know?
No romantic vibes.
No, yeah, no romantic vibes. Just like really good friends.
Actually gonna pop.
Okay. Why'd you end up popping?
I think that he's really attractive. It's just when I see him, I don't see like my man, very attractive. I love your career. I'm also getting my doctorate, so I love that. It's just attraction wise, I don't know, like friends, cool, talk a little bit, but I'm not feeling like,
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
So you're gonna pop your balloon?
I'm gonna pop.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
My name is
It's crazy.
The haircut? You're
So
saying no because of the haircut?
why so a man is successful as himself and everything, and he's not hood and gangster enough that they can't like this is why a lot of women are single.
Jay, I'm stuck on the haircut. It's the haircut for me. What?
I'm not
Do
gonna
you
off
do you
topic.
do you want like do you want somebody who has the the no hair here? Like what the George Jefferson look? Like, come on.
Almost had that George Jefferson look. Hey, no, look, and this is why a lot of men are home buyers. Why are you going to buy a home and prepare yourself? Like men that actually want a family, why would you buy a home and prepare yourself for women? That those some of the selections you have. There's a lot of women out there like that. Well, I can see them being a friend, but you know what? Those women are going to go wife these dudes who want to live off them and be leeches because that's what a lot of these women want. They want leeches. So
Mhm.
men don't have to buy a home. You can go be a leech. But you got that man we just showed in the video, very successful godly man, they don't want that.
Mhm.
So why? I mean, like a lot of people out here, like I said, a lot of my friends, especially guys who own homes, they're married. And I don't know too many single friends that own homes, and that's good. They don't have to. So, but
Mhm.
that's what it is. I mean, I know that we did Not Many Men Buy Homes, and we based our relationships, but we did talk about the financial aspects of being robbed here with state, federal, and sales tax and everything in America.
Oh, speaking of sales tax, I want to challenge you because I bet you don't look at your phone bill. If you ever look at your phone bill, look at the amount of taxes that are the different taxes that are on there. So, like down here, I'm in Huntsville, right? So you have one county tax, you have another county tax, and then you have the school tax, and then you have the state tax. I think there's like four different taxes. It's crazy on the
Yes,
phone bill.
and that's why people, I want to encourage them not to buy a home. It's going to be a home buy here, but you buy homes, whatever. But we can go on this topic for like ever. But the next time we do this topic, instead of giving it from like a relationship and like a financial perspective, we could actually get somebody that's from like a realtor and get their perspective on home buyers. So that's what we can do next time.
I got a couple of people.
Let's do that.
We should do like a panel from like different states.
I get one person here. You got one person there. They can talk about it. We can talk about the home buying and actually financial things. So next time on Seriously Funny, we're gonna have get some realtors like in here, and we can talk about home buying and talk about the market and everything, and talk about the type of people that's buying homes right now. And if it's the right time for you to buy a home, then we can do that on Seriously Funny next, though. So it'll be like a little home buying guide for y'all. So make sure y'all tune in for the next Seriously Funny. And hey, women, man, y'all gotta get it together. No, I'm trying. Women, man, get it together, though. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Seriously Funny, man. God bless you. Good night, y'all.